burns my eyes sometimes. But because I'm really picky of the books that I buy, I only want to keep like my favorite books in my library, or books that I'm really really excited to read and that I think are gonna be like a 5 stars. So yeah, and as you can see, it's pretty full. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first book that I read is called The Paper Menagerie. The Paper Menagerie by Ken Liu. Ken Liu. I'm sorry once again about mispronunciation. This is a really short story of like 20 pages. Not even 20 pages, I think it's even shorter. And basically it's about a boy who grows up with his mother, with his Chinese mother and an American father. And when he's little, his mom used to make him magical origami animals that comes to life, comes to life, comes to life. But as he gets older, he starts to feel torn between his two cultures, and it's hard for me to fit in with the other kids. So if you like stories that make you think about family, identity, and struggling with immigrant parents, I think you would like this book. It's really sad. So the next book that I read is Fahrenheit 451. 451 by Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury. So it's a dystopian classic about a man named Montag. And so Montag is a fireman in a world. Sorry, this word is hard for me to say. In a world where firemen starts the fires. Their job is to burn books because books are banned and censored, and in this world they do not want people to have any knowledge or any informations, because if they do, they will think too deeply. And Montag, it just goes with it. But after meeting someone, he sees the world differently. He sees the world differently. So yeah, it goes from there. And I didn't love it. I didn't love this book. Like I really loved the idea of it, but I don't know, the story didn't really grab me like I wish it did. But yeah, some parts were really slow and confusing. It was hard to like connect with the characters to me. So yeah. Next I've read The Dream of a Ridiculous Man by Dostoevsky, who is a famous Russian writer. This is a short story about a guy who feels completely disconnected from the world, and he thinks that nothing really matters, not even his own life. But one night he had this strange dream that changes everything. And I actually loved that book. I enjoyed it so much. It was short yet still impactful. long it's gonna take me, because maybe it will use a lot of my brain power. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. Next, I read Of Human Freedom by Epictetus, who is a philosopher. And basically, the idea of Epictetus is that liberty doesn't come from being able to do whatever you want, but it comes from controlling your own mind and emotion. Even if I did agree with some of his thoughts, the way he says his ideas, it was like, for me, it was like, do this, do that, think that way, don't think that way. So the tone felt kind of arrogant to me. I mean, maybe I'm the problem, but because of this, I wasn't connecting that much with his ideas, even if I found them really interesting. Next, I actually read a graphic novel by Gaël Guenillet, called Minuit Passé. And in this story, we follow a guy named Gerlin, who moves back into the mansion where he used to live when he was a child with his three sisters. So he moved back to this mansion with his son, and for some reason he doesn't have any memories of his childhood. was in